Does the summer slowdown exist on eBay? It does. It really does, especially if you're a clothes seller. What can we do to increase our sales during the summer slowdown? What can we do to prepare for Q4 during Q3? That's what I'm going to discuss today. I'm going to have one of my friends on, very talented reseller, and we'll discuss what we can do, different alternatives that we could look into, things we want to be prepared with going into Q4, and that's what we'll discuss today. So if you're a reseller or want to become a reseller, you're at the right place. Let me just pull up the chat here, guys, and say hello to a few people, and then we'll get this party started. And I'll see who is in the chat and say a few hellos, and then we'll get started. And our guest today is Mr. Bill, and he's with Gnome and the Frog. So Bill's been on my channel before. If you're a regular follower of the channel and you subscribe, and before I forget to tell you, please make sure you hit that like, smash that thumbs up before you leave. Okay, so I just say hello to a few people. And we have Miss Sharon in the chat. We have Maggie Doodle. We have our guests in the chat, Mr. Bill. We have Beth, Miss Reseller Robot, and we have Craig Landshort Picker, guys. Appreciate you all being here. So again, let me bring Bill on, and we'll get into this, the meat and the potatoes of the show. I'm going to have Bill just kind of, I call it the elevator speech, and just refresh our memories as to, a little bit about himself and his business partner and his husband. Tell us a little bit about his personal life and a little bit about reselling, and then we'll get into the gist of the show. So let me bring on Mr. Bill, and we'll get this party started. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Adam? How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I am wonderful. Gorgeous day. Hope everybody stayed safe from the hurricane that came up the coast.
We were discussing pre-chat. I didn't have nearly any damage here. The storms like a month ago, I had damage.
Yeah, we were
it wasn't too bad here. Just a lot of rain.
It was actually our last day on Assateague Island, so actually we didn't get hit that bad. We got the tail end of the hurricane. So
okay, very good.
Not all that bad. But
well, why don't you tell us? And you just had a birthday recently, so happy birthday!
Yeah, 59. I'm an old man.
And holding, okay.
So I get out of bed in the morning. But no, we've been at this for 2.5 years now.
Okay.
Flipping Daddy turned the light bulb on while I was at work talking about eBay, and it kind of lit the light bulb. And long story short, I was doing this by myself, and I sold something on Macari. And then watched you and Star, which is Flippin' Hippo, and Casey, which is Rockstar Flipper, and decided to open up an eBay store. About a month into it, found a Brothers printer for $5. We flipped it for 80. Dave was hooked. Thought it was crazy that people were buying that much money. So, and then things just snowballed to where it is now. So.
And like I said, we'll get into. So like I said, we're going to discuss basically. I was telling Bill prior to us starting. I've been doing this, I guess, about 3 years now, a little more than 3 years. Part time, and the people that watch my channel know I have some health issues, and they've been kind of messed up recently. So I haven't been doing nearly as much volume as I should be. But again, that's all my goal is to ramp it up and get ready for Q4, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about in Q3. Is doing the best that you can to get the most sales and best results in Q3, and also make sure that you're ready and ramped up for Q4. So I just want to go over a few things we'll bring up in the pre-show, and I've spoke with Bill about this. But I just want to bring up some of the things I had on my list, and we'll address them with you guys. And again, guys, if you're new to the show, or if you're watching the replay, that's something you can leave in the comments below. What do you do during Q3? During the summer slowdown? Is there really a summer slowdown? What kind of products do you sell? Typically, it seems from my experience and talking with other resellers and being involved in all the different reselling groups that it affects clothing sellers the most. If you're an electronic seller, for whatever reason, you don't have that big dip typically in the summertime. And another thing to consider, and we'll get into this a little bit, is if you sell, they call them replens or replenishables, you sell makeup or you sell food products or something that there's a need, a daily or a weekly need or a monthly need for things, that you don't have that dip typically like you would with as a clothing reseller. So let me just go over a few of the things that I suggest. And that, again, I've been watching a lot of videos and just went back to refresh my memory of things that I may have missed. and I'll just go over that. And we'll discuss that with Bill. One of the things they talk about is yes, summer slowdown does exist, again, especially if you are a clothing seller. I mean, when I first got into the business, and they tell you, look like we're freezing up a little bit, even though I'm plugged in here directly, but that. In the business, it's like, wow, I really got slowed during the summertime. One of the things you can do to combat that is consistently list. And again, we've talked about that in the past. Cassini, the eBay algorithm, artificial intelligence, notices when you list. They notice when people come to your store. They notice how much traffic you get in your store. They notice if people buy things when in the store. They notice how long they stay in your store. If they're looking at various things you have for sale, and then Cassini determines why they're going to promote your channel, or should say your store, not your channel. It's not YouTube. It's eBay. How they're going to promote your store. So that's one thing you have to consistently list, and that's like just with anything with eBay. Typically, if you have good product and you list on a regular basis, your sales will increase. Okay, so that's the one key. Okay, so we're going to talk about things to how to increase your sales during Q3, and I'm going to also speak with Bill, about things that we can do to get ready for Q4. So that's one of the things. Make sure that you're consistently listing, so that will help your sales. Typically, bump them up a little bit, get you through this Q3 during the summer slowdown. You want to go through your store, and you definitely want to make sure that you have proper inventory. So I tell people, everybody hates to do inventory, but it's something that has to be done. Most resellers do inventory twice a year. Some don't do it at all. I don't know how they do it. I have a smaller store, a basic store, and my inventory is kind of low right now, but typically I will do it 2 or 3 times a year. And what you can do like in portion. I have bins, and I have letters, and then I have I showed you guys the last show. I had the Walmart bagel bags, bread and bagel bags, and I put the number on there. So like A1 or A2 or A-3 is in bin number A, letter A. So they do your inventory, print out your inventory through your seller hub on eBay, print that out, and then cross-reference it. And then what I do is I also go through and I make sure that there's things that are, sometimes you had things listed for maybe 2 years or a year and a half. There's Bill's bin. It's kind of what I has, and he also has the rack, so we'll get into that a little bit. But that's something to definitely look into. If you have a lot of dead wood, make sure you look into that, and then you can redonate those. I mean, it's typically, or should say technically, a tax write-off, not typically, but technically a tax write-off. So basically, whatever you paid for the product, if you redonate it, again, talk to your CPA. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an accountant. But your accountant can tell you, can you write it off at the resale value? Can you write it up at your cost? Again, I don't want to tell you people how to do your accounting because I'm not an accountant. So that's something you can do, is go through and find stale items. If you've had something in clothing items for 2 years and it hasn't sold, it's either the product is not very saleable, or you have extremely overpriced, or both. I always talk about women's jeans, and I've come to the conclusion some of my women's jeans are just brands that aren't selling, or maybe they're sizes that aren't, are too small or whatever, or they're not the proper cut. So again, I go through and I pulled about 20 different pairs of women's jeans that I had in my store that weren't, basically saleable. So that's something you want to look into. Also, you want to look into running the duplicate listing tool. So I'm gonna do a quick screen share with you guys. Bill, are you familiar with that? The duplicate listing tool? I know I mentioned that.
Yeah, because we ran it like a day ago. We wound up selling the same script twice, just like
again, and that's veteran reseller.
Somehow
it happens. It happens. You got to be really careful. I just want to show you real quick, like 1 minute on this. I'll just show you guys, and I'll basically show you the web address.
Well,
you can keep talking. I'm just going to share the screen. Yeah, you can keep talking.
I was going to say we run it like every 2 weeks.
You run it every 2 weeks. Okay.
I did notice, though, it doesn't catch all my listings because we're at like 25, 30. And when I ran it, it did like 24.90.
Okay.
So, but I tried to run it a couple times to see what happens. So, but other than that, it worked. Yeah, you just took your name.
Okay.
You want to explain?
Let me know if you see
it?
that because I don't have my phone up. No.
I can see.
You have it. Can you see it on my screen? Okay. So you can see in here, basically what you do is you put your store name, your eBay store name in here. And then you put in, again, I'm on US only.
Yep.
So then what you do is, I'm just going to put get items. I haven't run this in quite some time.
Okay.
So let's see what happens here. It's going to check error, invalid seller name. Okay. Well, let me take out the www
and the eBay. It's only your name.
Yeah. I haven't used it for a while. You're right. You don't put just put the store
only
name.
Your name.
Okay.
Everything else, put your name.
Yep.
There you go.
That should work.
There you go.
Okay. No duplicates were detected. Okay.
Oh, Adam, I'm upset with you.
What's that?
I'm upset with you.
Well, I know it's very low. I know. I at one point I had over 300 listings. Don't throw me under the bus.
Well, I will be on you every day texting you. Are you at 100? Are you at 200? Are you at 300?
Yeah, well, I see 2 doctors Friday, and then I see another doctor in about another week. So that's my goal.
In life, hey, look, I've been there too. Look, we went away for 4 days and we didn't list, so it happens, And then we had issues. I sold my house. We had issues with the house, so I had to run into Delaware County. So that was 2 days of no listing. So yes. I understand.
Well, like I said, I typically when I was doing this on a part time, I call it a full time part time basis. I never really was full time per se but I was doing it to keep busy. And I averaged about 2 to 250, 300 listings.
Okay.
Again, some of it was dead wood, and again, of that I really had probably about 75 or 80 listings on a regular basis. Like I said, I pulled about 25 or 30 within the last 2 months.
Well, it happens. And then the nice thing too is, and it's not for everybody, and I get that, but we got 2 that are dedicated to the business.
Right.
That makes a big difference and trust me, I know these people that can't, because I've been in that situation in my previous relationship. I tried to run a business, and trying to run a business and go out in stores and be with the family and do the social stuff with your family and try to keep up a business. It's very, very hard. And unless you have somebody that is a 50-50 in it, it works. If you have somebody against you, it makes it even harder. So I understand.
Well, and again, I tell people, do as I say, not as I do. And again, that's why I was so happy to have Steve on last week with Pick and Roll. Because I don't know if you saw the show, but basically he works out of a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And his right side is paralyzed, but not his total right side, but his right leg and his right arm and hand is paralyzed. And the guy does a tremendous job. He's just a real inspiration of what he does. Wow. And I said to myself, and he doesn't feel that he has a handicap. He says, look, because I'm in a wheelchair. He goes, I understand that. I'm a motorized wheelchair. It helps me get around.
Sure.
He says, but I don't take any medicine other than vitamin C.
That's awesome.
Well, believe me, I take a lot of medicines, and I've cut back on a lot of them because sometimes they say, the cure is worse than the disease. So that we're not here to discuss my health. That's the gist of it. That's
getting back to what's going on. I think, well, this is the way we did it.
I'm gonna put you on full screen.
Sure. The way we did it was back in April when all this.
We're not going to mention. We're going to just say things happen.
Happened and things went haywire. We actually took advantage of the situation. Sorry for that light. Let me change this. There you go.
Better. Yep.
Sorry about that. Yeah. So what we did is Dave continued to list, and again, this is 2 people, and I did a complete inventory on the store, bin by bin. So, and then we took out stuff that we thought wasn't selling anymore. That's been up for a year. And, we can get into all that in a minute. But the way we do it is, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but we mark our bins. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then we take an item number like so.
Right.
So then what we would do is when we list in the, what is it? The subject box? No. Help me out what box it is.
Oh, the hidden SKU?
Yes, thank you. We will put we put the number that the bin is in.
Yes, that's what I do.
The item that it is, and then we attach that to this, and then we date it and then we put what platform it's on.
Yep.
And then that way, and then what we started to do was we're carrying that date into the other sites so that we can see how long it's on.
Right.
And then when we sell it, as soon as we sell it, or before we sell it, we will take it off those platforms, and then we will hit accept whatever platform it is that we're on.
Right. So, I mean, even if you're out and about and you have the mobile app, the mobile eBay app, and it sells on eBay, you just pull it up and you can see that SKU. Okay, I have this listed on Poshmark also. I got to remember to pull this immediately off of Poshmark.
And if we don't see it in Poshmark or Macquarie or whatever platform we're on, then we will hold off till we get home.
Right.
To make sure we actually do have it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But what we have been doing is just...
Oh, there you go. I know that sound.
What we have been doing is...
Yeah, good luck, Bill.
Thank you. It took us 2 years to do this, so it is a job. People say it isn't, but it is a job. You have to know what you're doing. And we studied a lot of people, and now we pay attention to what we are sourcing. And if we're not sourcing anything that sells more than 20 is our lowest, but 25 and up, we will not buy it. That is our goal.
25 and up, yeah. So average selling price.
Yeah, that's on the average selling price. And then
that's something again. I just want to interrupt you for 1 second. That's something again, guys. And again, I appreciate you all being here. And again, for a long time, I basically geared my show to building up a community, building up my following. And believe me, I appreciate all you here. So like I said, I'm going to have a little bit more beginner stuff now. I'm trying to intersperse that because I want to really grow this channel. And I'm not going to disregard you guys, you're intermediate sellers. I don't pretend to be an advanced seller. I'm between a beginner and an intermediate, but I do have a lot of knowledge, and I have friends like Bill that have been doing this for a while, and Casey that's been doing it for a while. But so anyway, so I'm going to introduce some more beginner stuff. That's one of the things I want to bring up is definitely do your inventory, because you want to make sure you don't have any snafus come Q4. Because when you're really busy, some stores sell 30, 40, 50, 60 pieces over a weekend, and if you have to be hunting for stuff and you can't find something, that's the worst feeling in the world. I've had that happen. And I think I mentioned in the last show is when you have quantities, and I'll get into this a little bit about trying to generate and get more sales during Q3. But if you have a quantity listing, be very careful. If you pull that down, just do that one particular item and make sure you adjust the quantity. Because if you have a quantity listing, like I mentioned before, I used to get a deal on athletic hats from Ross, and now they don't. The prices are just too high for me to resell. But I used to get a deal for $3, $4, and I get 10% off, so I could resell them at a reasonable rate. But anyway, so that was an opportunity. But I would sometimes when we get 2 or 3 the same item, I would do a quantity listing. Like right now, I think I had one point I had like 3 Philadelphia Eagles, the ERA hats, the ones I guess pronounced ERA or whatever. And they weren't snapback; they were the fitted hats. They were like 7.5, which is a big size. And then what happened was you got to remember to adjust your inventory, because if you just sell similar, it's going to list it as 3, and maybe you already sold 1 and it's only 2. So be careful. And again, that was something I was going to mention as well. And I'm pretty sure that you do this, Bill. Every day, do you go into your store and check to see listings that are expiring on that day? The good till cancel listing?
I do not.
You do not.
I do not. But what I do is every day I go in the morning after Dave's done shipping, I go in and check the watchers, and I throw watchers offers. That's
another thing on my list. So okay,
absolutely, it has been a winner for us. Obviously, we were away for 4 days, so we took the computer with us, but the internet was just poop down there. Right. So I came home with 70 watchers. Before I went out this morning, I sent them all out, and we got, within an hour, we got 3 counters. No, I think we got 3 or 4 counters and 2 or 3 sales from sending watchers offers.
So again, this is one of the things I wrote down. That was on my list of things to talk about, sending offers to watchers.
Yes.
Okay. And I guess that's been, how long has that been? I mean, this year has been such a mess with everything that's been going on. I lose track of time, but I guess it was probably what, 9 months, 8 months ago that eBay started that offer for watchers.
I'm telling you, take advantage.
It's a game changer. Yeah.
Don't. I'm telling you, don't. And we did it for the long time. We ignored what people were telling us, and we ignored what eBay was telling us and everything. And since we've been following what people are telling us, it allowed me and Dave to be full time in the business.
Yes. I mean that'll give you the bump. So again, when it's slow during Q3, and it is slow, especially for clothing sellers, that's something you can do. If you're not doing it, do it now.
Well, here's the strategy. What we do. When we got into this business for 2 solid years, we did not touch our income. We just let it grow and let it grow and let it grow and let it grow. And it wasn't until this year we started pulling a paycheck from the business. And then we set ourselves on a budget of what we can spend each month. And if we go over that budget, then we don't source the next week.
Right.
And the other thing is take advantage of the half days. Please. I mean, it's fantastic. And don't be afraid if you're at flea markets and you see something you like. Don't be afraid to haggle. I just did a video, and I don't know if you guys follow me or not, but it's in the video. About a month ago, there was a community up in Ephrata, and this lady had a rack full of scrubs. And we were cherry picking them, and I said to Dave, why don't we just buy them all? So we counted them up. I told the woman $100. She almost fell out of her chair. The little boy was 12. He was jumping up and down. And we walked away with 145 scrubs for $100, and they came out to 72 cents a piece.
Well, that's, again, I mentioned that last show. Again, it's all intermingled, guys. It's the reason I say these things. I mean, and again, just not from me, from my experience with other resellers, being involved with some of the really top-notch resellers. Moderating on probably over 30 different reselling channels over the last several years. You know, I don't know why I use this the Italian saying "stu non." I'm not Italian. I don't know. Maybe I always wanted to go to Italy, but I'm not Italian. But "stu non" means stupid. So I absorb and I learn things, and that's why I like doing the show, because I like educating myself and I like sharing what I learn with other resellers. Yep. But there's a reason that we do these things, and there's a reason, like, you know, just talking with Bill here, sending out the offers to watchers.
Yep.
It works.
Yes.
Don't be other resellers are doing it. What's it hurt to try? You're not obligated to do it forever. Try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But for most people, it does work. And again, if you aren't doing it now, try it. And that should bump up those sales. Even though they're slow, it should give them a little bit of boost, you know. Plus, that's activity on eBay. And I talked earlier about Cassini, the algorithm. Cassini likes activity. So Cassini sees you sending out offers, and then your watchers responding to those offers. That's activity on your store, in your store. And eBay likes that, and obviously the algorithm, Cassini likes that as well. So that's like when I say with a YouTube channel, you know, please click the thumbs up. YouTube likes activity. That's interaction. If you click on a thumbs up, if you leave a comment after the show, you know, YouTube's algorithm likes that. If you stay on, watch the show for more than 15 minutes, YouTube likes that. Same thing with Cassini. I mean, it tracks activity in your store. If you adjust prices, that's good. Again, and like I was saying earlier about this selling similar, make sure you sell similar. Don't relist, because if you sell similar, you get a new item number from eBay, right? And you're going to get a push, because you know Cassini looks at that again. That's the algorithm, looks at that like a new listing. But if you relist, it's the same thing as keeping it as good till canceled.
I have a question here.
Oh my God! You know, you show off.
You know what?
You show off.
You know what it is? Honestly, that scrub deal that I told you about.
Yes.
All the sizes are 3X and up.
Oh, perfect.
We are selling them like hotcakes. And that deal we split with Flippin' Daddy, so we both walked away with 75 scrubs for $50 each. Okay. It came out to 72 cents a scrub. So even if we sell them at $10, we're still making an $8 profit.
And shipping it, they're so light. I mean, what's it cost you? $4 to ship them first class?
But before I get away, I want to answer Jacob, and I hope I'm saying it right. Jacob's question.
Yes.
He wants to know how you maintain such great comps on your jeans. We actually take advantage of Terapeak. So
Yeah, that's something I mean, maybe gonna have you on in the future. We can talk about therapy because I know virtually nothing about therapy other than eBay purchased it and that's a part of the platform if you're a store subscriber now.
yes, and when you go into to eBay, there will be a button that says search, and it's at the very top. And then we do 365 days out, and then we'll put in our jeans. Sometimes we'll do size. Sometimes we'll just do the main jean, like this here. Like we'll do Levi's Strauss,
Right.
and then we'll put men's or women's, and then we always filter it high to low, and we price it high. I mean, you got to price it high. You're in business. You need to make money. Don't cheat yourself out of money that's there to be made.
And again, I'm going to get into a couple other subjects too. And these are like the, not the $64,000 question, but there's like both sides of the river. Let's say that's probably a bad analogy, but Bill says price it high. If you don't price it high, you can't get it. Again, but he also remembers he has best offers on all his lists.
Yeah.
I don't. Again, we got sidetracked a little bit. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. I think I did.
Yeah,
that's something else you can do. Is if you don't have best offers, make sure you have best offers on your listings.
And we price
it too, but you really should because that's going to help again with the interaction between. Well, I did mention. I remember now the conversation we had.
And we price it. We also price it with a $5 window to negotiate.
Well, that's the other thing too. And again, this is things I've learned from other resellers. When I first started doing best offers, I would have a window, like you said, and then I would reject lowball offers. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the more experienced resellers say, don't reject the lowball offers. No. Always counter.
Yes.
Always counter.
Because they're throwing
counter at like, say you have something listed for $50 and a person offers you $10. Well, you don't have to counter at 15. No. If they're being difficult, counter back at $45. But always counter.
They want
the other thing. One second. The other thing is, and again, I told you I was rewatching some of the shows about Q3, and I have my opinions that I've learned through other resellers. I was watching another pretty popular reselling channel, and they said, and I know Casey talks about this. Always put like a personal note with your counter, something to the fact like, I appreciate your offer. Hope we can come to an agreement and, maybe a little salesmanship, and then, mention the person's names, Joe Smith, thank you so much for your offer. The best I could do is such and such, and hopefully we can come to an agreement. And I think you'll really enjoy this pair of Levi Strauss jeans.
And, it works for us. I mean, that $5 or $10, whatever window you leave, because they're going to lowball you to see if you accept it.
Right.
Especially now with the summer slowdown, they're like, oh, they'll take it because don't. If it's not what you're comfortable with, somebody else is going to come along and buy that.
That was the other thing. Again, I sometimes I get sidetracked in, but that was the other thing I was going to mention too. When I was talking about this other channel. What they do is they come up with a price and a price range, when they're doing their research. And what they do is they find out, again, when you set pricing, again, for new sellers, it's for new sellers. You experienced sellers know this. You have to check solds. I mean, if something is listed at $100, but it's sold in the past for $30, $40, $35, $40, typically you're not going to get that $100 unless it's something that's really in demand. I mean, if it's a collectible or something.
Hello? You there? Oh, well, anyway, while he froze, we'll let you guys know that just keep listing, even though right now we are coming out of the slow summer slowdown because we noticed that our sales have picked up. We basically got hit in the month of July. But the thing is, just keep listing, and you'll see results. Another thing that we have heard is if you list, let's say you list 10 a day. Let's say your goal is 10 a day. Make sure at least one of those items is $50 or $100, whatever you're comfortable with, and list that also. And then we were told within 30 days, you will start to see the cycle of that high dollar item also selling. So that was a little trick that I was taught to list at least one item that's $50 or higher every day. If
Really?
you
I never heard that before.
if you can do it, or at least once a week. And then the Cassini, what is it?
I was going to ask you, what is the logic behind it? Where did you hear this?
Same thing with the Cassini. Every 30 days, how it rotates your product,
right?
It's going to kick up, and you're going to see that consistency. And also, be consistent with your pictures. I mean, it comes down to, like, we have a set schedule on our set way how we do our shoes. We have a set way on how we do our jeans. A certain way how I do my shirts. You got to be consistent with your listings, and then people will easily find your product. For instance, I just went out and purchased this shoehorn for sneakers. Let me get this out for you. Okay. And then it makes the sneaker, pop out a little bit. Okay. And then I follow some of these other people on YouTube, and I went out and I bought a crate. And now I take the pictures. The pictures are taken on a crate. So there's all that kind of stuff. I went out and printed a size chart for men and women. So if an item is a high dollar with no tag, I have a list here. I make sure the measurements are in there with pictures with the ruler, and I'll list it, and I'll just go off the chart on how to price it. We have ourselves a little checklist when we list on what to do. You got to put little things in place. Systems will help your business. It's summer slowdown. Things are starting to kick up. Fourth quarter's coming. Go out and start sourcing if you have the material to source. Like I said, we set ourselves a budget every day, and or every week, I should say, and then we do half price days. And the more you list, you'll start to see more things come up. I'm just reading a message here. And again, the way we got to where we are is when we started selling, we were able to build our business up. Every time we sold something, we just let it sit in the account and build up and build up and build up, and that's how we just kept rotating our inventory over. We also put some money aside to pay our bills for like 6 months in case we needed to, and we got all that into place. We just, Dave comes down and does his shipping in the morning, and we both list during the day, 2 listers. That's just the way our business runs. It works out. He handles the jeans. I handle the shoes. Trying to think of other things that can help. Yeah, just keep listing every day. That helps. Answer your emails when email comes in. Answer your email questions right away. Don't hesitate. They say wait 24 hours, but the faster you get back to your customers, the more they see as a respect. And another thing we did is, if you guys want to take a short weekend or something, we pushed our sales to, like, we just went to Assateague Island with the family for a couple of days. So we put our handling time to 3 days. When somebody bought something over the weekend, all the way up till Tuesday, we sent a message, sorry, we're out of town. We will, as you saw, we have a 3-day handling. If you are okay with this, fine. If not, we'll be glad to cancel your order. But that not one person canceled their order. Everybody was understanding, because people don't look at they don't read the descriptions, but they don't read the little fine print on everything. They just go by what the picture is.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. That was my battery on my computer was like, I told Bill earlier, I'm having issues with this power cord, and apparently it disconnected, and I reconnected it. I apologize, guy. So yeah, basically that was the other thing too. Again, I wasn't going to bring that up. That's a good point, because this time, a week prior, this time last year and the year prior, you and I were both at eBay Open, and that's something you have to remember to do if you're going to go on vacation. Some people just extend their handling time.
Yep.
Some people go on vacation, extend their handling time, and then respond to sales. And that's what I do.
Yeah.
I extend my handling time. I put my store on vacation, and then I also message the person. Like when I was at eBay Open, I got a couple of sales. It was weird because I was in the summer slowdown, and all of a sudden I'm like getting offers, getting sales. It's like I really think that eBay kind of like turns on the switch to people that go to eBay Open, because all of a sudden I was getting, I hadn't had a sale in like a week, and now I got like 3 offers or 2 sales. And so anyway, so I would respond to the customer and say, look, I'm at eBay Open, or I'm at a convention for eBay. I see that you placed an order. You will receive this on such and such a date. Is that okay? So I think I had like 5 sales or 4 sales when I was at eBay and Open. I think one person said that they didn't want it because of the shipping delay. But again, communication is key. And that's when I talked about the 4 S's of selling. That was one of the things. Make sure the service was one of it. Make sure that you answer questions about sizes or whatever, or questions about shipping. That's part of your job. I mean, it's your business. You don't have a brick and mortar, but that's part of the business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what did I miss while we were away? What were you discussing?
I was basically just talking about sourcing and saving your money and building the business up. And we talked about making sure that you list every day and getting yourself ready for the fourth quarter, and just go out and build your inventory up, and then build it up and build it up.
That was another thing I was going to address. Death piles, cash piles, profit piles, whatever you want to call it. And again, guys, I've told you I'm my own worst enemy. If you have a cash pile, we're going to call it a cash pile, and that's more positive. Make sure you get that all listed. The other thing is to consider is I told you earlier about doing the inventory. Make sure you do your inventory. Make sure you have a good inventory system. That is key. Yes. We got kind of sidetracked a little bit when Bill did show his bin system, but that's extremely important, especially if you're a newer seller, because if your sales are double or triple or quadruple,
and they will
Q4, and you have a poor inventory system, and most people do when they first start out, some people are super organized, and that's just the way it is. But newer resellers typically have a poor inventory system. And like I said, if you can't find an item, there's nothing worse than that. I mean, you're looking, you're pulling stuff out. I mean, I go into, I break into like a sweat.
Yep.
Like, we've all been there. I mean, I should say, I'd probably say 99% of us have been there where we couldn't find an item.
In the beginning, we had to cancel so many orders in one week. I thought Dave and I were going to strangle each other. We were like, we're not ready to do this. And we were like at that give up point. And we're like, no, we're not giving up. It just got to come up with a better system. And we followed some of the YouTubers, and there's a lot of them out there, and everybody does their own thing.
Right.
As far as Q3 is concerned, in this summer slowdown that people do, and obviously this year has been a mess, but it normally June and July.
Right.
They start to pick up in the middle of August. I have found
back to school, right? Mm-hmm.
And I have found, and this is not for everybody, and everybody might not be able to do it. If you're able to have your own yard sale out front of your house, or you can go to a flea market and pay anywhere from $15 to $25 for a table and sell your product there, and get some income coming in while you're in that slowdown, and you're not selling what's on eBay or whatever platforms you're on.
Well, that was one of the things that I wanted to address. That was in my list of things to discuss. Okay. And I told you I was going to pre-chat it, where I wanted to get in a little bit about. Let me just address it a little bit. One of the things that I was going to suggest, and again, guys, these are suggestions. These are from experienced resellers. My experience, Bill's experience, and other like really experienced resellers that have been very successful. Again, I gather all that information, I process it. I talk to other resellers and a lot of reselling Facebook groups, and I observe them. And I might not post a lot, but I'm observing the banter back and forth, and I absorb it and I try to pass it on to you guys. So that's one of the things. Consider expanding your different platforms. Consider cross posting. Maybe you're just on eBay. I had a chat with Sharon. Some of the things she has, she likes selling vintage. So I told her, you should probably be in Etsy. And I think that's something she's going to look into, getting involved with Etsy, because Etsy is vintage and, handmade type of things. So again, consider cross-posting. You can use a cross-posting tool. Maggie, I might be pronouncing this wrong. Is it Vendu or Vendo? I know Maggie uses that to cross-post. A lot of people use List Perfectly, but apparently it's very good, but some people say it's a little pricey. Again, I don't use cross-posting tools, so I don't want to, speak out of turn on that. But again, consider cross-posting. Again, that's different platforms. And again, we always talked about that having different streams of income. So again, I'm not a Poshmark person, but you sell most of your shoes on Poshmark, or do you cross post?
Actually, we were everything and anything we could sell. And in the last 8 months, I was watching Sydney,
Right.
the Posh. I forget her handle right now. I got to draw a blank, but she was doing something on jeans, and she talked about American Eagle jeans, and Dave and I discussed it, and we bought a few pair because they were hot on Poshmark, and our jeans sales just like skyrocketed.
Well, see, that's the other thing. I have a couple American Eagle jeans and I can't sell them. I don't know if it's size or if it's cut. That's the other thing. Keep involved and keep knowledgeable. Do your research.
And
a lot of stores are, especially a lot of mall stores, are closing permanently.
Sure.
I don't want to misspeak, but I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Chat and Bill, I believe American Eagle is one of the stores that is in Chapter 11 right now, and they may end up closing.
I know Men's Warehouse just happened.
Men's Warehouse should went into Chapter 11.
Yeah. But and then
we all know about Sears, we all know about Penny's, we all know about Macy's. Yep. We all know about Pier 1. They closed Pier 1. They're done. We know about Toys R Us back in the day, how they closed.
Yeah.
But with this again, I'm not going to mention it because eventually I want to get monetized, and it's a negative if you say that word. But with the current environment, let's just say, more people are buying online, and again, keep knowledgeable, keep informed about these things. If American Eagle is closing their stores, which I believe they are, and I could be mistaken, so do your research. I always say do your research. Maybe you want to look into picking up some American Eagles. Even if you see them at like your thrift store, maybe they're overpriced a little bit. $5, $6, $7. Pick them up because maybe people have a favorite type of jean. Let's say. If they can't purchase that jean because the retail outlet is closed, again, that's something to consider.
And then the other,
I know that BKE is another company that is definitely in serious financial shape, and they filed Chapter 11.
Getting back to the different jeans, I mean, talk about your Lucky brand. When we first started getting jeans,
right.
Brand was a hot item. Everybody raced to the bottom. Now you're lucky if you can get $15, $20 for them.
No pun intended, but I love Lucky brand too. And I used to buy Lucky. I mean, I didn't wear them, but they were a hot brand. I bought them, and again, they're not hot anymore. I bought them because back in the day they were popular.
Anything that said Lucky brand or anything that's American Eagle, we just do in the bin.
Yeah, Lucky, American Eagle, Levi Strauss. Not Levi Strauss signature, but Levi Strauss, Lucky, American Eagle. Yeah, boom, 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 boom.
Well, we got rid of the smaller sizes, and now we pretty much 8, but 10 is definitely, we go 10 to 16. We will do 8 on occasion, and if we find a really, really good brand in a 0 to 8, we will buy it. But as far as the sneakers are concerned, and there was a question, and I can't even pronounce the gentleman's name. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going back in my messages. Martek 7. Am I saying that right? Was asking me.
I believe it's Marrakech 7. I think it's like the Beatles song, Marrakech.
Gotcha. It was asking me about arbitrage. I tried it once. There's room to be there, but I'd rather be honest with you. I'd rather buy them the used way, unless it's a hot sneaker. But what I've been doing is I followed Renzi's they're up in Portland, Maine.
You mentioned that before. Yeah, I don't follow them, but you mentioned they have a YouTube channel. Yeah.
They don't do eBay, but they do Macari and Poshmark, and they have over 10,000 listings, and they're doing 6 figures on just sneakers. So we were doing the shoes and the men's and women's shoes, and found out they weren't moving. And I don't know if you can see that or not behind me, but
it's your racks, yeah.
They're 90% of them are now sneakers, and we've been sourcing sneakers now, and we do $10 and below. If I can find a good Nike that'll give me $50, I'll spend the $10. But our sneaker prices averages right around $6 to $8.
Okay.
The way we do things,
your cost of goods is $6 to $8. Yeah. And again, now what do you try to? I know you've talked about this before. You want to have an average selling price. Where do you want your athletic shoes to be?
Sneakers are 25 or higher.
25 or higher. Okay, so you'll pay upwards of $8, but I guess if it's $8, you want to sell it for 50 or higher. But if you're paying, $3, $4, or $5, you can list it for $25.
We use a 25% formula. So let's say you want to buy a pair of sneakers and they're $25.
Right.
We times that by 20.25, Now my math is off. So if you want a $25 sale on your sneaker, we times it by 2.25, and that gives us, we can spend up to $6.25.
Okay, so you want your cost of goods to be 25% or less.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So 25% of it's $25 is $6.
$25.
Yeah, 25% of $25.
And then the way we
25 cents. Yes.
So and let's say we go out and spend $500, and we come home with, I don't know, 500 items, because my math stinks, so I'm going to go easy. So our cost of good was
I used to be really good with math when I was in sales, because I was always running numbers. I had to know numbers in my mind.
So everything to this point, on all the money that we spent so far, our average price is like $2.80.
Right.
So I just tried an experiment on Poshmark and Macquarie.
So your average
I'm doing free shipping.
We talk about, again, that was another one of the things I wanted to discuss. I'm sorry. So what I was going to say is you have cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold is basically what you purchased. Then you got to factor in your fees, and like I discussed last week's show, you have a cost involved in sourcing. Your time is valuable. Gasoline, wear and tear on your car, yada yada yada. But so it's your average cost of goods sold, and then you have your average selling price. So again, that's important to know your numbers. And I mean, some resellers like Casey, that's all they talk about is know your numbers, and it's right. You should really know your numbers. But I mean, you want to know. I mean, if you're paying $10 for something and you're selling it for $13 or $14, and you're paying eBay 15 or 20% when you factor in your PayPal fees, your commission, if you're running a promoted sale, a promoted item, whatever. So everyone's in business to make money. You don't want to lose money. So you really need to know your cost, and really need to know your average selling price. And again, like you say, you try to pump up that average selling price so where it's more profitable. And your formula, let's just say, is to be at least 4 times your cost of goods.
And if it wasn't for Dave, I got to get this in, because I won't be getting dinner tonight.
Okay.
If it wasn't for Dave doing the accounting work, I honestly don't know if I could be doing this right now, because he is a numbers guy, his spreadsheets, he loves all that part of it. So Dave handles, and he uses GoDaddy. It's not for everybody. Some people like QuickBooks, but every sale that we have, he enters into GoDaddy. And of course, eBay automatically pushes theirs over, but all the other platforms, we have to put it in. And then that's how we come up with our average cost of goods on everything we sell.
Right. And again, guys, I'm a small time reseller. I tell you, I do it part-time, but again, I have, I've been following this for quite some time. GoDaddy is a very popular software program. Some of your more higher volume sellers, they use QuickBooks, but QuickBooks is more expensive. Mike Flipping Goodies, who's a great channel. He's been on Casey's show, and if you're not subscribed to Mike, check him out. He's been on my show before. Very knowledgeable guy. He works a full-time job, and he works full-time plus job, and then basically he does reselling full-time. So he basically works 2 full-time jobs, and he uses GoDaddy bookkeeping. And his son, I believe he said, is a CPA. And he said it meshes really well. It communicates with eBay's site. I think with a couple other different platforms it communicates with, and it helps you, keep track of your numbers and to get it over to your account or your CPA. So GoDaddy apparently is a good program. Before I forget to mention a couple other things I was going to mention, and then we'll get into some odds and ends. Another thing to consider is, guys, is when I definitely want to remind you guys all before. I was watching the show, and the show will remain nameless. Apparently, they live right next to the USPS warehouse, because they said they got shipping supplies in 2 days. I've never gotten USPS shipping supplies in less than 10 days. Sharon, I told you, who's in the chat, helps me with the channel. She says that the USPS, the sales of the shipping, I guess, has really been slower recently. Because with the summer slowdown. She was told by the clerks at the post office it's slowed down. But guys, remember, if you have to get shipping supplies for the USPS, again, it's USPS.com, not .gov, USPS.com. Padded freight light envelopes.
Oh, I was going to get in. I was going to say the last 10 minutes of our show. Let's talk about what we need
the jean seller's best friend, because almost all jeans are over 1 pound. Get them now. Now. Don't wait any closer to Q4.
I can tell you right now.
USPS runs out of supplies. USPS, again, they've had issues with, again, Sharon's telling me that it's slowed down quite a bit for them recently. But guys, there's no cost. They ship them to you for free. You don't pay for them. And the other thing, let me interrupt you.
Sorry.
Please don't abuse the privilege. Please don't use padded flat rate envelopes to pack things and then ship them, first class, or ship them, wrap things up and then put them in a box. Because you know what? We all pay for that. Don't abuse the system. Don't, again, I'm on my soapbox here. I'm going to keep it very short.
Fine.
Don't use media mail for things that are not media mail. Please don't do that. Because it hurts all the other resellers. And you know what happens? Especially with media mail, the USPS has the right to inspect any media mail items. So they have been opening up things. And apparently they've been opening up, I guess, some of the pirate ship, the cubic shipping. I don't know how they get around that, but they have been opening it up. And if it's something is media mail and it's not media mail qualified, they will whack it, and they will either hold that and inform the seller that they're not shipping it, or they will ship it and then they'll send postage due to the buyer. You want to upset a customer? Do that. Use media mail incorrectly and get caught by the USPS. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, don't forget the shoe boxes either. I mean, we got.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that. We're talking about Poshmark. That's why I asked you about Poshmark with the athletic shoes.
Okay.
I know Poshmark raised their shipping prices, but it's still very competitive, right?
$7.11 the customer has to pay.
$7.11, and that's any priority mailbox, right? Or any priority mail package.
Even first class.
Right. But I'm saying you can ship out, use the priority mail shoebox.
And I believe it's up to 5 pounds.
Up to 5 pounds.
Up to 5 pounds.
So if you're shipping boots or something, that's typically be more than 5 pounds.
And they email you the label.
Okay.
So now the way we do it on Poshmark, I do 20% right off the bat, but it's in my price. And then I do $4.99 shipping.
Okay.
So they're getting $2.12 off. But I'm trying this new method of Poshmark doing free shipping, and I'm adding the price in and doing the shoe at 10% with free shipping. So I'm losing.
What do you mean 10%?
Instead of doing 20% and $4.99 to the customer.
Right.
Now I'm setting the price a little bit higher.
Oh, I got what you're saying.
And I'm doing a 10%.
You were running a sale is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'll offer anybody that likes something on Poshmark now on a shoe or a sneaker. I am doing 10%. And
so you were doing 20% off. Now you're doing 10%, and you raised your shipping price, even though it's not covering your cost, but you raised it up a little bit.
And I'm doing free shipping.
Oh, you are doing free shipping?
Just on sneakers.
Okay. That was the other thing. I know we got sidetracked a little bit. That was one of the things I was going to say to help your sales, your Q3 sales. Again, it's not for everybody. Consider offering free shipping. Consider, if you're not doing it already, consider getting involved with eBay's global shipping program. Yes. If you're a newer seller and you want to do international shipping, use the global shipping program. What you do is basically the buyer pays the cost involved. If there's any import duties, et cetera, et cetera. You're just shipping it from your location to Kentucky, and then eBay handles all the shipping and all the paperwork, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're a newer seller, consider using GSP. The other thing is too, when it's slow here, if it's summer here and you don't sell summer products, you don't sell bathing suits, you don't sell that type of seasonal stuff, remember it's winter in Australia, New Zealand, etc. So, and apparently, again, I've never shipped to New Zealand and Australia, but apparently that's a couple of the countries where there typically are not issues. Some other countries notoriously are bad for returns, but apparently, New Zealand and Australia are really good consumers for eBay. And the other thing is too, we're not going to mention what's going on in the world, but New Zealand and Australia, they're a lot better off. And I guess their economy is starting to pick up. So they will be probably, continue ordering on the e-commerce platforms. So that was the other thing I wanted to mention. We talked about offers to watchers. We talked about the global shipping program. We all talked about having best offers on all your listings. We talked about, yes or no onto free shipping.
I can go too.
I'm sorry?
How I set my sales. If you want me to, I can talk about that too.
Right. And then we also talked about, we talked about best offers. We talked about having them, if you don't have them turned on, have best offers. And we talked about offers to watchers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm sorry, what did you want to discuss?
The sales, how we do our sales.
Okay, why don't you discuss that?
I do.
Oh, and promoted listings too. Before I forget to mention that. Again, when I've talked before, when I do a promoted listing, I only do 1%, 2%, or 3%.
We do 3%. We were.
I don't do the suggested. I don't do if they say 11, 12, 13, 14%. I'm already paying for 15% when you factor in the cost of PayPal, and no, and I got to pay commissions on shipping. So I don't do 15 plus 15. I'm not paying 30% commission. At least I'm not. I mean, that's your decision to make.
Well, actually, and I just left the screen. I don't know. Hopefully people can see me. But the way we do it is I do everything at 3%. We were doing the 5%.
All right, let me put you on the main screen. If you want to share your screen, you're welcome to do that too. If you, I don't have to, but
well, actually, it's my back office.
Okay.
But I wanted to get into. Let me pull up this promoted listing platform, and then you can take it to a full screen, and then I can show these people. All right, go ahead. You can share me.
You have to share it, and then I can allow it. You have to click on share screen down the bottom.
Where?
Like a monitor down the bottom of your screen.
Let me go down.
It says share screen. Click on that and click on probably Chrome tab. And then you want to click on that particular Chrome tab and then click share.
Share screen. Okay, there we go.
Okay. Did you click share?
Do I hit share?
Click share.
Okay.
Okay, it hasn't come through yet.
All right.
It's a learning curve. So you click on share screen.
Anyway, when you go in, that's okay.
Okay.
When you go into the back office and you hit hold on, let me pull it up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to hit marketing, and
Right.
then you're going to go down to promoted listings.
Right.
And when you do your share and you promote everything, it tells you how much you have sold under the promoted listings and how much it cost you. Like for the example,
Right. I understand.
I made $1,000 in sales, but it might have only cost us like $20 to promote it. But that's $1,000 I wouldn't have had in sales if I didn't promote the listing.
I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second. This is important. I actually was on another reselling show. I was the guest on somebody else's show, and somebody brought this up in the chat. Remember, when you do promoted listings, you're paying on the item selling price.
Yes.
So again, there's a method to my madness here. Let me put myself on the screen too. If you include free shipping with that item, you're paying promoted prices on the whole package. So you're paying your regular commissions and your on final value fee, and you're also paying on the selling price. If you have your item separate, if you have your item, the selling price of your item, let's say it's $30. So it's $25 for the item and $5 shipping. You're not paying commission on that $5 shipping. If you're selling for $30 free shipping, you're paying the promoted listing commission on the total cost. So that was something that somebody brought up in the chat that I thought was interesting. And I had forgotten all about that. So again, if you do a promoted listing and you have free shipping on that item, you're paying commission on the shipping as well. In addition to you're paying your regular eBay fees on that shipping as well, and your PayPal fee or your managed payment fee.
Mm-hmm. So,
okay. Well, did you want to talk about shoes? Is that what we're gonna do?
Well, yeah. In 1 second. So sure. What we do is I do Monday to Wednesday. Then I do Wednesday to Friday, and then Friday to Monday in my sales.
Right.
And I do 20% off across the board.
Okay.
And then we obviously will put that 20% into the price.
Right.
So, and let's say.
And you pulse those sales. You do, how often do you do it? Monday through Wednesday?
Monday to Wednesday.
Right.
Then
you take it down?
Then it eliminates. We do 9 o'clock California time, so it'll be noon.
Right. You set it. You set the time on eBay. Mm-hmm.
Then we start, and if I remember, sometimes I don't remember until like 5 o'clock Wednesday when I'm like, why aren't there any sales? Then we do Wednesday to Friday, and then I'll do Friday to Monday.
Wednesday through
Monday,
Friday. And what percentage?
I 20% every day of the week.
Oh, you pulse it 20%. Okay, so you have 20, you take it down, you put it back up. 20, you take it down, put it back up.
Cycles the sales.
Well, that's good. That's good. Again, because that probably kicks Cassini up a little bit. The search engine says, "Oh, okay, there's a sale." Blah blah blah. You know, that's kind of like when on YouTube. I know some of you guys do YouTube, some of you don't. But when you do a live stream, YouTube promotes it that there's a live stream, and then after you drop the live stream drops off, they don't typically promote it. So that's why live streams are good for about 24 to 48 hours. After that, they really don't get the watch hours they typically would, like a regular video. But that's YouTube. I'm sorry again.
Real quick on the sneakers, because I know we're kind of short on.
Yeah, well, we can go over a little bit because we got to.
I'm free all day.
Yeah, I mean, my power went out, so I was off a little bit.
Real quick, though, I want to show you guys what I have learned about sneakers, because I was just picking up everything and anything. Okay, when you look at a pair of sneakers, obviously the bottom, if it's got dirt on it, obviously you can get cleaned. Okay, but what I've been learning from some of these other resellers is down. Of course, it's black, so you can't see it. But down in here, you want to make sure there's no heel marks or heel. What am I looking for? Wear inside the heel.
I get that on the outside of my back heel on the right hand side.
Along the tongue line, the shoelace area up in here.
Right.
Make sure all this material along the sole is tight. This little flap, make sure that's not loose in any way.
What's the other trick?
They tell you,
there you go. That is extremely important.
Yeah.
Even on like regular shoes, if you can flex it.
And if it pulls from here,
yep.
Don't. Another mistake.
I'm not a shoe guy, but I have heard of people that have purchased. If there's a really lot of profit in it, they have purchased those type of shoes with they're like Michael Jordan's or something, and then they'll take it to a shoe repair shop and get that repaired if there's enough meat on the bone.
We did that with a pair of floor shine.
Okay.
So
yeah, I mean, if it's a really high selling item, I mean, yeah, if you could pay $10 and you can sell the item for $75 and you're going to get it for $7-8, invest the $7 or $10. I mean, that's your call, obviously.
Heel drag.
Yes. Yes.
If it's on the right or the left on one side and it's worn, put them back. Even though it's I was making that mistake in the beginning. And we get home and Dave says, these can't be sold. They're worn on the one side. A habit I was getting myself into, it, like this pair of Nikes. If I saw this Nikes and it had hair in it, I would pick it up.
Hair in it.
Animal hair will drive you crazy when you're sitting there with a pair of tweezers. And now I taught myself not to do it. Sometimes the insole will come off. Don't force it off. But if it peels off, I've been taking a lint brush right here.
Right.
And then I'll rip a piece off. I'm trying to find my trash can real quick. But anyway, I'll pull a piece off like this.
Right.
And then I'll fold it up and I'll stick it inside this sneaker to pull off the lint on the inside.
That makes sense. Sure. That's a good tip.
And then
you can't get the roller in there, but you can tear off a piece and like kind of tap it in there and pull out the lint, the dog hair or cat hair or whatever.
And if the heel comes out or the insole comes out, then I'll just brush it with this without it.
Sure, sure.
The other thing is if you get the little lint balls, get yourself one of these doodads.
Okay? Yes.
The heel because you want them to look professional. You don't want to send out something. You want people to come back and shop for you. You don't want them to, you know what I'm saying?
That's why I mentioned a lot on this channel. Under promise and over deliver.
Yeah.
Like you said, you don't want to say that something is in excellent condition. It may be excellent condition, but tell the person it's in good condition. Because then when they get it in excellent condition, it's, wow, this is a lot better than what the seller said. You don't want to say something is in good condition and ship something out that's in fair condition. You don't want to go the other way. You always want to, like I said, you always want to over deliver, under promise and over deliver. Okay. Were there any other things that I may have missed as far as the Q4, getting ready for Q4, and then also continue to source, obviously, if you have the money. One of the tips I was watching a reselling show the other night when I was, trying to refresh my memory of things I may have missed about Q4 and Q3. They said, especially with new sellers, Be careful not to get involved, not to get in debt. Now, you know, Bill, you were talking about how you were kept putting money back into the business, but you and David were working another job. So don't put stuff on credit cards and run up your credit card and have to pay, you know, 18-20% interest. I mean, you know, again, sell things around your home. Again, this is for newer sellers. Obviously, the experienced sellers know this. Sell things around your home, you know, build up that cash, then, you know, roll that into something else and roll it into something else, roll it into something else. But don't put it on a credit card. Now, if you're disciplined, you can get a rewards credit card, you know, maybe for your business, and then use that. But don't finance things. That's a bad trap to get caught in. Okay. Was there anything I may have missed?
I was just going to make sure you got the inventory system in place. I don't know if you can see this.
I did mention that earlier. That was extremely important. And then do an inventory before Q4. Get it done now.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can do like 1 or 2 bins every day or whatever, you know, because I mean, everybody hates doing it. Not everybody. Most people hate doing inventory. You can do a bin today, a bin tomorrow, you know, maybe you instead of watching TV, maybe you can do an inventory in a bin, you know, print out your inventory sheet from your store and then check it off. And again, when you're going through your inventory, again, I mentioned it earlier, make sure if there's stale items, and maybe you want to consider, you know, pulling them out of your store and redonating. Like I said, I pulled 25, 30 pairs of women's jeans out of my store. That's another reason my inventory is so low, because I pulled like 25 items that I had selling, pulled them out of the store because I'm just going to redonate them.
And if you do redonate them, make sure you get a slip
get a receipt.
Receipt, so because you can write it off as an expense.
Like I said, I don't want to tell people. I don't know if it's what you paid for it or what the retail is. I'm not an accountant, but again, get it like Bill said, get a receipt. Yeah. Okay. Let me just again, we're a little bit over, but again, I had the power snafu. I want to see if there's any questions in the chat, and then I didn't mention this to you, but I always try to end just a couple minutes, just have a little bit of fun at the end. I do something new I do on the show now. I do would you rather, or I would do a trivia, easy trivia questions if you're interested in doing that. But let me just see if there's any questions in the chat. Michelle, Sharon, Maggie, Beth, are there any questions I may have missed in the chat earlier? Bill and I may have missed, or when I was away, when I was on a sabbatical because my power cord pulled out.
Don't forget to get your inventory for fourth quarter. Order your supplies now. If you have extra,
I mentioned that earlier. Thank you for reminding people. Please.
It's free.
Speaking from experience, it's free.
Yep.
Especially padded flight rate envelopes. They come in boxes of 100. We don't want 2 or 3 boxes.
We're sitting on 4 boxes.
Push anything.
We're sitting on 4 boxes of padded flat rate. We're sitting on like 5 boxes, shoe boxes. We have 3 boxes of the plastic that we put our clothes in.
That's the other thing. Tape, plastic bags. We use the suffocation, non-suffocation bags. Whatever supplies you use, make sure you have plenty of inventory when you're revving up into Q4.
Printer. If you guys can afford a Rolo printer, get yourself a Rolo printer with the tag. Boxes. Go to the grocery store. You can go to the grocery store and get free boxes. Break them down, store them in your garage. That's what we did. So
that's what I did. They got out of hand. I had all these boxes. It's like, dummy, you got to break down and then get your Scotty peelers. If you know what Scotty peelers are, I used to have affiliate links. I don't have anymore because my subscribers didn't buy anything. So I think I told you I got kicked out of the Amazon program. But Scotty peelers are great. They're basically label peelers. Yep. I like the metal ones, but you got to be careful because they can damage things. They have like a regular razor blade on it. You can use the plastic one. So again, you make sure you take off all the labels, or you can cross that with a magic marker. You don't want anybody's information, but or you can actually put like eBay tape over. I've done that too. When it was like I couldn't get all the label off, I would put piece of eBay tape over that area that was, I would scratch it so there was no, confidential addresses or anything, and I would just put a piece of eBay tape over it.
You made me remind something. On the sneakers, you get the little markings that they write on the bottom of the sneakers.
Yes, the prices where they put with the Sharpie markers. Vaseline.
And
again, you're the shoe guy, but you have to be careful with acetate, with the nail polish remover, correct? Because that can really damage things, right?
I don't use nail polish remover at all.
Right.
I use awesome. This stuff is fantastic.
Okay. Dollar Tree. Yep. Ding, ding. Well, Dollar Tree, again, we're not going to mention why, but Dollar Tree has been a nightmare the last several months. But I use Awesome also. And that's the concentrated. Do you dilute or you use full strength?
I do full strength, and
Cool.
I bought a jersey that had a yellow stain across the back. I
Right.
saturated
Sweat stain. Yeah.
I saturated with it, let it sit for about 3 hours, threw it in the washer with a little bit of Arm & Hammer washing soap,
Yes.
and it came out white, and I sold it for $50.
How about that?
So,
Well, that's something too. Again, I got a little sidetracked, but if you find something, sometimes you take a chance.
sure.
I mean, if you see something with a minor stain, especially, I mean, again, yard sales are not what they used to be, but if you find something for $1, $2 at a yard sale, and you think, wow, if I can get this stain out, I can sell this for $50. Would you invest $2 to make 50? I would.
I would. Absolutely.
$2. I wouldn't invest $25 if it has a stain, but I would invest $2.
You can get free bubble wrap. You can get free newspapers. You can get, I mean, have all this stuff in place because October.
Save your packing. A lot of people shop through from Amazon or eBay. When people ship bubble wrap, when people ship packing supplies, the paper and stuff, styrofoam, you can save that and you can use that for your packing. Store it in a separate area, your garage, your basement, whatever, and try to keep organized.
Because it's not guaranteed, but I mean, if you're selling 1 or 2 items now, come fourth quarter, you could be selling 5, 6, 7 items a day.
Yeah, I mean, again, typically, it depends on what you're selling. Typically, it could be 3, 4, 5 times your normal volume.
Sure. Go after the collectibles for the fourth quarter. Don't be afraid to go after collectibles and wrap them. We were afraid at first. VCRs, it's another fourth quarter item.
Yes. Well, again, I mentioned earlier, clothing is affected in Q3 typically. Electronics typically are not. Let me just interrupt you for 1 second.
That's fine.
Great supporter of the channel, a friend of mine, has won her first 2 storage auctions. Congratulations to Sharon. We were talking about you earlier, Sharon. Your ears were probably ringing. Bill and I were talking about you. So Sharon has won her first 2 storage auctions. She won both of them today.
Okay.
The first 2 she's ever won. Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Isn't that neat?
That is absolutely awesome.
Yeah. So I tell people I'm just going to do it for the video. I'm going to get like a 5x5 or something when all this stuff ends. Or not ends, or is this better?
It's funny you brought that up because Friday, Flippin' Daddy contacted us, and there was a storage unit in Aston. It was a men's clothing and a woman's clothing.
Okay.
But there was 2 units that had boxes in it that were sealed, marked for Target from China, and we opened them up and they were packed 12 to a person, and we looked up the items and it turned out that it was like, from what we could investigate, it was costume jewelry.
Okay. That is something that you wanted, or something we were
thinking fourth quarter.
Okay. But you said you opened them up. So you won the
I'm sorry, we opened up the photo.
I was gonna say, yeah, because you can't go in and open stuff up unless you purchased it.
I meant to say we opened up the photograph.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
So
you enlarged the photo and you could try it right.
It was targeted for Target, and the one box had 144
It was
units.
targeted for Target, no pun intended.
I know, right? Flippin' Daddy did investigating on Poshmark, and the items were selling anywhere between $7 and $11 a piece.
Right.
So we calculated the one box could get us $700. And long story short,
nice.
Up to $500, and we chickened out, and they sold, both units sold for $510 a piece.
Okay.
So, but it is what it is. It was an experience.
I was going to say that is what it is.
But the thrill of just that competitive, do I go higher? Do I not go higher? It just, it was fun though.
Okay.
Anyway,
I know I see people are leaving me. Guys, I may have had a giveaway. I had a giveaway last week or 2 weeks ago. You know, if you hang in, you'll miss the giveaway. I don't have a giveaway, by the way, out of this week. Did you want to spend 3 minutes having a little fun? Do you mind?
Oh, I got all day.
Okay. Which do you prefer? Would you rather do like some easy trivia, or would you rather questions?
I'd rather questions.
You rather questions? Boy, you're just a card today, Bill. Target. What you said earlier. Okay. All right. Let me get a few of these questions for you. All right. Okay. I intermingled my questions. Adam, why did you do that? You're supposed to have them separate. Give me 1 second. Were there? Okay. I usually ask beforehand. I'm not going to put you on the spot. If you don't have it, you don't have it. Are there any new apps or websites that you have been using that may be beneficial to the viewers?
Yes. Yard sale treasure map.
Okay, which we talked about. And I don't know if you saw my Instagram. My yard sale treasure map was hacked last weekend.
Really?
I had about 80 or 100 sales within a mile of my home. I haven't had that many in 10 years. And then they all had warnings on them. You know, this is probably not the correct address or something to that effect. Yeah. But I can show you. I can pull it up on the phone real fast. Let me just show you real fast. I said, there's no way, especially with what's going on here, that you know, that these things are happening.
I use Photo Room.
Okay.
And being I'm selling on Facebook Marketplace now, I just downloaded one of these cash apps to do cash sales and accept cash over the internet.
Yes, I have Cash App. Yep.
And then the other one is Venom. Am I saying it right? VENMO.
Yes, I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been using those two apps for when people want to pick things up. They don't want to, you know.
So like local sales, they want to pick it up. Yep. Let me show you real fast, just for kicks, guys. And you'll know what I'm talking about when I show this to you. So let me just highlight myself here, and I'll show you real fast. Then we'll go get into the would you rather. So hopefully you'll be able to see this properly without too much. Can you see all those red? There's no way in God's earth that there's that many yard sales in my neighborhood.
Oh wow!
Yeah, somebody hacked the yard sale treasure map. But again, that's a great app, and right now I just have, again, with everything that happened, my plan was to get the paid app because you only get one day when you have the free app, which is Saturday. I have. So if you have the paid app, I think it's like $5 or $6. You can have like Saturday, Sunday, Friday, whatever.
For the whole year.
Yeah. It's cheap. But I mean, I just got the free one because when I first got involved in it, it's like, everybody said to get it. And then I said, well, why I'm not getting Sunday? I'm not getting Friday because the free version only gives you Saturday or one day, whatever. Okay, sir. We're gonna. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Estatesale.net is the other one.
Estatesale.net for the estate sales. Yes.
Yes.
Wear your mask, guys. Wear your mask.
Yes, absolutely. So, anyway.
All right. Let me put you on highlight here. And again, we're not doing trivia questions, so you can look in the chat. I mean, when I do trivia questions, I tell my guests, don't look in the chat. And we're going to keep it real short, guy. I know some of you jumping off, but we're going to keep it real short. So I'd like to have a little bit of fun at the end. So kind of like a coffee break at the end of here. All right. I asked this question quite a bit, Bill. Would you rather wrestle a bear or an alligator?
Bear.
Yeah, some people said alligators. Like, I don't want anything to do with an alligator. Casey might be wrestling some alligators.
Yeah, right.
Got some in that pond where his new house is.
Exactly.
Okay. I want to ask you the one about the hair because you and I both have hair issues. I want to ask you that one. Okay. This is a good one. I ask this all the time. Would you rather be stranded in a jungle or a desert?
Jungle.
That's the answer. Because you can probably find water. You can
Yep.
probably find food.
Yep.
You're in a desert. Where are you going to find food and water?
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, a sun-friendly person.
Okay. This is kind of like more of a personal thing. Would you rather vacation in the mountains or the beach? I think I know that answer.
Mountains.
Oh, mountains, not beach.
I'm not a big.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So your family did that beach because your family, the kids like the beach and everything.
Children.
Right. The grandchildren. Right. Okay.
Everywhere.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one last one, and this is because we're in the reselling business. I mean, mine was not by choice, but I'm doing it because my life situation. But you did it because you want to be happy and you wanted to be your own boss. You wanted to be free. You didn't want that job.
No.
So this is kind of related to that whole being a reseller. Would you rather work for a boss you hate but make good money, or work for a boss that you love but make minimum wage?
Oh, wow. That's a tough one.
Isn't it tough?
Yeah, because knowing what I know now would be neither.
Well, yeah, you want to be your own boss, but that's why you're doing what you're doing. But yeah,
asked me that question 2 years ago, I'd have to say the boss I hate for the higher amount of money.
Okay.
Which I did. So.
Well, see, my situation was I was working a job, basically, I talk about networking all the time. I was trying to get back into a higher paying position. I was working retail in the industry I was in for 30 years, and I was trying to network to get a job in either managing a store or a buyer in a store. And then I ended up tearing my Achilles and then had all these other health issues. And so that was the plan, but it didn't work out. So again, guys, one of the sayings I bring up a lot on the show is the only thing that is permanent is change. Right. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if I may, real quick.
Sure.
If there are resellers out there that are part-time and want to make this their life, there's two things. Well, actually, there's a couple, but two main things you need in place. One is what Adam just said, change. Change. If you want change, you got to do something that's out of your comfort zone. Number two is something I learned, and it's I forget what the name of the book is. It escaped my mind. But write your dreams down on a piece of paper, and they will become
reality.
Read them in the morning and read them at night, and you'll start to see the change.
Is that the secret?
That's the secret for me.
Well, I mean, there's a book called The Secret, and I've been posting on my Instagram from The Secret.
Think and Grow Rich. That's what it's
Think and Grow Rich. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But I mean, that's the other thing is to try to envelop your mind, because your brain is so powerful.
Absolutely.
I mean, people that beat cancer and beat, we're not going to say what it is, but beat the current situation through positive thoughts. I mean, it doesn't always work, but you want to envelop your brain with positive thoughts. And it's difficult sometimes. I'm going to end this in like 30 seconds, guys. I know we're losing viewers, but I heard this and read this one place, and it made a lot of sense. And I tell people the older I get, I guess the crankier I get, I try to be positive. I try to help people. That's why I have this channel, to try to help educate people and try to, make people more money and make myself successful, and hopefully, make a little bit of money eventually from YouTube. But I heard this once, or I read this once, and it makes a lot of sense. When you hold a grudge, someone has hurt you, and you hold that grudge, and it's in your body. It's the saying was, holding a grudge against somebody is like you taking poison and expecting that other person to die.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really bad thing, guys. And I'm my own worst enemy. I tell you all that time when I talk about reselling and getting through that cash pile, and make sure I get in there every day and pull down the expiring listings and sell similar, getting new listings up, activity. But again, be positive, do the right thing, and you'll get through Q3.
So I showed you this the last time we were on the video. The positive.
Yes, you did. Yep. The positivity wall. Yep.
We watched Jim Rohn. Yep. We watched Jim Rohn and Les Brown, and the other one is Dave Ramsey. Got us to where we're at. Right. Nobody knows who he is. Google him on YouTube. He shows you how to use your own money to pay off your debt and be debt free and live the life and the dreams that you want. Dreams are just a dream. The old saying that Les Brown always talks about is when you're laying on your deathbed and all your dreams come out and talk to you and say, why weren't you there? I gave you these dreams. You never used them. Now you're going to die, and they're going to die with you. So.
Well, again, I'm going to shout out Sharon again. She had this dream that she wanted to buy storage auctions. So she's bought one too today.
There you go.
She has another venue that she's going to get involved in, another source of income. She said to me in private, and again, I'm sure she's arguing with me. I'm not going to tell what she's doing, but she had this thought about doing this particular thing, and she says, "I always wanted to do this, and I have an opportunity to do it, and I don't want to think if I had the opportunity to do it and I didn't do it, what might have happened."
Well, me reselling, and this thing that happened in April, I was forced to leave my job, and it made me want to do this, and now, So,
like Lady Luck Junk says, you got to be hungry. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely out there if you really, really want it. So just things like that, the little things in life, talking about writing things down. And one of my goals is that I want to sell more shoes on Poshmark and Mercari. We went away for 4 days, and I think we sold 5 shoes, and we sold a pair this morning. So, write them down. Things will happen.
Write your goals down, and if Beth's still here, the Queen of Bullet Journals. Make sure you subscribe to the Reseller Rowboat, the Queen of Bullet Journals. Writing things down. And everybody talks about that. Casey talks about that. Beth talks about that. Writing down your goals, writing down your to-do list. You can use electronic to-do list. You can use a written to-do list. Some people prefer to, pen and paper, or whatever. But you're right. You're right.
We talk about it, but don't do it.
Yeah. All right, guys. I appreciate you all hanging in there. And again, if you don't forget to smash that like button before you leave. If you're not subscribed, make sure you consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell so you know when I go live or I record a video. And I appreciate you all being here and hanging to the end. And we shall see you next week. And I want to thank Mr. Bill again for being here. Yep. And it sounds like we may be doing some future projects together, and looking forward to that. Okay, sir?
All
Thanks,
right.
everyone, for being here. We shall see you next time.
Next time. See you.